Hi! Welcome back. We're on chapter 6 of The Artist's Way. Recovering a sense of abundance is this week's theme, or was this week's theme. And I'll read the little thing to you in the side. This week you tackle a major creative block, money. You are asked to really look at your own ideas around God, money and creative abundance. The essays will explore the ways in which your attitudes limit abundance and luxury in your current life. You will be introduced to counting, a block-busting tool for clarity and right use of funds. This week may feel volatile.
Essays?
Yeah, it did say essays. I don't remember writing any essays.
Also, my mic was off until about 30 seconds ago. It's on now.
Yeah, I didn't do any essays this week. I did feel like it was a volatile week though. She was correct in that. I didn't quite resonate with some of the things that were in this chapter this week, just because it was quite religious. I guess there was a lot of like words about God and stuff, which I resonated with the things she was talking about, just not the language she was using. I think that's what kind of threw me off a little bit. But I did find it very interesting. Money is an interesting topic to talk about.
It's funny because I had the same initial thought. I was like, oh, this is very religious. I don't think I really have any ideas about what God thinks is possible, like in that sense. Like I'm a spiritual person but not a religious person, and I guess I just didn't think I really had any thoughts like that. But then I realized I still have memories from like primary school, which was a Catholic school for me, where there were ideas about money and work thrown around that I have internalized. And the fact that I can remember specific moments to this day, I think sums up how much they're still ingrained in my head. Like I literally,
that makes sense.
I remember we were in like some kind of Bible study class, and the teacher was like reading the Bible, and there was that one quote that was something along the lines of, it's harder for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich person to get into heaven. And it messed me up as a kid. I remember asking in that moment, like putting my hand up and being like, does that mean we're all going to hell then? And she was like, no. And I was like, but like compared to like people in like countries that are way more like, you know, in poverty, compared to like homeless people on the street, like we are rich. So what you just said means we're going to hell unless I like give away all my things. And the teacher's like, no, like it doesn't mean that. And I'm like, but that's literally what you said. And that was like the beginning of me questioning Catholicism. I specifically remember just being like, well, how can I take anything you say seriously if you're just deciding what it means in the moment? Like, but that idea also kind of it has been like ingrained in me to feel like, you know, if you're not struggling, if you're not working your ass off, and if you have like abundance, if you have lots of money and you're not spending every waking second helping other people, then you're probably a bad person. Like I do have like ideas like that subconsciously that I think I probably have to confront at some point. So even though I'm not religious now, it definitely had an effect on me.
Yeah. No, I feel exactly the same. I think we both were brought up in a very similar way, where we were just taught something as a child, and then as a child you believe it because that's what you're taught. And then we both started questioning things, maybe around the similar time. I'm not actually, no, because you went to a Catholic school and I didn't. So maybe I questioned it more when I went to school. Just because I met other people with other beliefs, and I was like, oh, okay, so this isn't the only thing that exists. There's other things. And then I was sort of questioning why there were other things and why people believe in different things. And but you know what I just realized? We just dived in straight away and we forgot about our snack. Which every time we do these podcasts, we're like, we're going to be more organized, we're going to be more structured, and then we just like jump in, and we always have great chats, so it's kind of worth it. But let's not forget our snack. So before we get started and dive any deeper, what snack did you bring today?
I brought a Chupa Chup.
A what?
Chupa Chup.
Oh, a Chupa Chup.
A Chupa Chup lolly. I don't know what
I remember those.
It's pineapple, and I think there's peach and something else, and Coke.
Ooh.
You can tell I had a sweet tooth as a kid. I feel like every snack I brought has been just pure sugar. But yeah, I was like, I love a lolly. Every 6 months or so, I'll buy one from the store. Like I'm a 5-year-old, and it just makes my day.
Oh, that's great though. I was never a lolly person. I never really liked them. I liked like Haribo's. No, not Haribo's. What are they called? Malwams.
Oh,
I
they were
liked
too
those.
chewy and weird for
So I
me.
like the chewy, and I like chewits. I like chewy things, but I never really
Oh,
liked the hard sweets.
that gave me like
Yeah.
sensory ick. I hated those. God, what did
I
you
bought
bring?
something slightly different. I bought, what are they even called? The Laughing Cow plant-based spread.
Cheese.
Cheese. Plant-based
Yeah.
cheese. I got it because I actually used to have these a lot as a kid. We were both saying that we had the same dish. We called it pastina. I don't know if you called it pastina, but it's basically like a soupy pasta that kids eat. And we used to put one of these into the pasta once it was made and just smush it all around, and it was great. And I loved them. And these ones are actually, because they're vegan, they're made out of, I think it's like almond. They've got little pictures of almonds on them. So I'm going to try and eat a block of cheese.
That sounds
I might just
great.
have a little bit
What's
of
the
it.
problem?
I don't know. I just used to having it in things, not
I
as a
would
snack.
I would also eat them as like just a snack when I was a kid. They were great in
Would
pasta,
you?
but I did also just eat them because I really like them. And I'm not a big cheese fan, but they're mild. They're not
They are very mild. You know what? They're not bad.
right.
That's
It's
pretty cool.
good. God, your health have
That is
been
good.
your snacks have been so much healthier than me. Your healths have been
Have
so much
they?
snackier than me. I nearly said.
But do you know why? It's because it's difficult because obviously I did used to eat things as a kid, but now they're not vegan, and now I'm vegan, so I'm having to find the ones that
Yeah.
are. And luckily, a lot of things are actually accidentally vegan, so that's great. There were some bourbons. Bourbons have always been vegan. Ah, oh no, I
Yeah,
dropped the cheese.
you taught me that a few weeks ago. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna put the cheese over there.
Anyway,
So
we can go
back
back
to week
now.
6. Little snack break, and we're back. So there was a few different sort of sections of this chapter to today, last week even. There was one section called the Great Creator. I think that's also what kind of threw me off a little bit, is because she went straight into this rather than other things. It was just straight into the Great Creator, which was a lot about God. I still kind of, you know what, it was making me question my own beliefs, because obviously I was brought up semi-religious. Like I still don't lead into religion at all, but I do believe there's something. I feel like there's something that connects everybody, and it was making me think about what I actually do believe and why I feel so resistant to words like this. And I think it's because of our childhood.
Yeah.
Because growing up, it was like, you must believe this, and so then I kind of was like, I will not. I just like went the other way. But
I dropped my
yeah, I
lolly
don't
on my
know.
covers. I'm gonna need to wash now.
Oh no! Oh no!
But that's why I like that she uses like the phrase like the great creator, and I think she did specify in the beginning anyway that when she says God, it's kind of whatever that means to you, because everyone has a different, but yeah, it's such an interesting thing to think about, because like I kind of went through all of that. Like I was, as a kid, I did believe in what my parents and my school taught me to believe in, and then during primary school, like during those classes, I questioned everything, and it just felt uncomfortable, like it didn't sit right with me. And then seeing what, like, the negative side of religion, I like segregation, and especially what did it for me as well is, like, obviously I'm gay, and part of the reason it was so hard for me to come out was because I had all this internalized homophobia. And like, I could have been so much happier, and if like religion hadn't been a part of my life, like as a kid. So in that aspect as well, like I hated it for a really long time. And then I was like strictly atheist for like a few years of like uni, and then I started questioning again. And where I'm at now is kind of like, the world is so insane. Like, life is so insane. We know so little. Is it that crazy to believe there's something connecting everybody? And there's like a reason for why we're here. Is it really that crazy? And I think as well, like, just enough things have happened in my life to make me feel like there is some higher power, that there is something kind of guiding, or
Yeah.
so
I think
I
that's
believe in
basically the
something.
same for me as well. Yeah. I think that's similar for me, is that I think when I started to see that there were other religions that all believed in different things, but the main structure of them all were the same. It was just the rules that were different. That made me kind of lead to my own beliefs of, well, maybe there is something out there that we're all just interpreting in very different ways, but we're all kind of, that generally religion is all about like being kind to people, being good to the world, bring more love, compassion, those kind of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, none of them say that. I mean, all of them say that basically. And I just feel like it's really interesting that they all came to that conclusion just through different paths.
There's a lot of similarities.
There's a lot of similarities, and it was the rules that kind of I didn't always agree with. That's what made me kind of leave, I guess. Not that we were like part of something, but you know what I mean. I just went the opposite way because I just thought this is not what I believe in. I kind of want to love everything and everyone, and when certain
strict.
rules say, yeah, the strictness of it was just not resonating with me. But then it kind of, so where I'm at now is that I feel like there is, I would maybe say a great creator. There's a creator, but I don't necessarily believe it's separate from us. I feel like if we are the creation, then the creator is also part of us as well, and we are all the creator can't speak. We are all the creator within ourselves as well. It's really hard to put into words when you actually try to think about it, but
you know what that makes me think, and this is something that I thought about my whole life. When you really think about what we are, like we're literally made of stardust. That's literally what we are. We are made of the same things as the universe. We are quite literally, we are the universe come to life to observe itself. Like that is what we are. We are the universe. There is no, like we separate ourselves. We're like, oh, we're things that live here. But no, every single atom in your body was once part of a star. Like you are literally the universe come to life. So even when I was like atheist, I still had this feeling of like, we are all the same. We are all connected. I should care for others as I care for myself, because there isn't really that, like I have the ego, but that's just like, I think like a illusion of the brain, like making me feel like I'm separate from everything. But yeah, like that literally is true. Like that's a fact. Like no one can dispute that. So when you think about it in that way, why should I think of myself as this separate thing? It's weird.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think saying that something is bigger or more powerful, or there's like a hierarchy, when I'm kind of, my belief is that everyone is kind of equal together and we should all love each other equally no matter the hierarchy and that kind of stuff.
And as a woman as well, religion is just always a bit difficult, because for years in history men have used religion as an excuse to oppress women and every single other minority. But it's, you hear it in the traditional wedding vows, like why should I agree to obey somebody else because I'm the woman? Sorry, I'm not going to do
given away.
Why do I have to wear a veil? So I'm basically like a present. I'm sorry, the idea of a veil is literally like you're a present that has been like wrapped, and then you lift the veil and you're like, I'm here, like your present is here, and everyone's like, oh, what a pretty present. I'm like,
I think that's honestly. Honestly, I feel the same. The idea of modesty in general kind of always has thrown me off a little bit, because I'm like, what does that actually mean?
It makes you feel sinful for existing.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, oh, my body is the problem, when the real problem is men not being able to control themselves or their thoughts.
Yeah.
And they fix it by covering us up instead of growing and evolving as people. Sorry, I try not to let the feminists slip out, because I can get really cagey.
Let the feminists slip out. Let her slip out. But I was thinking this today because my friend actually posted a story on her social media the other day saying that she was just annoyed because she was walking back from the gym. She was wearing shorts and she got beeped at like 3 times by men in a van. And she was like, why is this still happening? And like, this is so annoying. Like, she was like, I could have covered up and put tracksuit bottoms on, but what's the point? I live a 10-minute walk away. I was going to the gym, blah, blah. And I was just like, yeah, I feel exactly the same. Like, it's so annoying that happens. And then someone did it to me today. I was wearing a puffer jacket and tracksuit bottoms, I had no makeup on and my hair tied up. And I was like, it doesn't matter. The clothes you wear don't matter. They just have the audacity all the time anyway. And I'm like, why are we telling ourselves to not provoke them when, why are they being provoked? Like, that's their issue, that they can't control themselves, not our issues and what we want to wear.
I mean, we were wolf whistled as kids. There was nothing sexual about us when we were kids. Like, we were wolf whistled out like in our school uniforms.
Honestly, do you know what? When I think back to that time, because obviously we walked the same
It
sort
was
of route to
worse
school,
then.
opposite end. So much worse then. When I think it was every day almost, someone would beep or say something, and they were all like older men.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize then that obviously I'm a schoolgirl in a school uniform, but yeah, I used to get beeped at more then than I do now, which is insane.
Yeah. And I'm like, part of me is like, there's two reasons for that. One is really depressing and one's hopeful. The depressing reason is men are more attracted to literal children. And sorry, not all men, but a lot
Not
of
all
men.
men.
As in every schoolgirl has experienced this. So it is a
Yeah.
significant proportion. Or people are learning and maybe men are growing and maybe it's happening less now, but given that a lot of my friends had the same experience of it was worse when we were like 16 and under, I tend to lean towards the depressing reason.
Yeah, it
Pisses
honestly
me
was.
off.
And just the fact that you can talk to any woman and she will have experienced something. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say any woman,
Yeah,
it's everyone.
every single
And
woman that I have ever met.
yeah, yeah. And that in itself is a problem, considering how many men sort of say that it's not them. I'm like, who is it then? It's got to be someone.
Somebody. Well,
Gotta
it
be
was one of yes. Disgusting. Sorry. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Anyway.
But anyway, that was the first subject.
We went off on a tangent,
little
but
route.
it was a necessary
We did.
conversation point.
I mean, this is what I mean about this chapter. It was a deep, like it threw us in the deep end straight away with kind of talking about God and the great creator. So yeah, that
bringing
was
up God and all
that. God and all that, you know. But yeah, what was the other bit? Luxury was the next one. Luxury. What did you think about that bit?
I feel like, because I remember doing this before, and the first time I did this chapter, I realized I really was depriving myself of so many things. And I do think that doing this before has had an effect, because this time around I was like, I'm pretty good at treating myself now. And like I can sum this up pretty easily with like, when I did this the very first time, I was living in Camden, and that whole time I was sleeping on a mattress topper, and it was not even a proper mattress topper. It was like this thick, like a couple of inches thick. It was terrible. I had really bad back pain. I was super uncomfortable every night. It was also old, so it was lumpy. And that whole time, the whole 4 years, I was like, I can't afford a mattress. And meanwhile, I would buy all this crap, like so much just crap that I didn't need, or like stuff for other people. And when I eventually moved out, I was like, wow, 4 years and I never bought a mattress. Like, what is wrong with me? And that kind of shifted something in me. And so now I try to, I'm like, it's okay to spend money on things that add to your comfort, your quality of life. Like even things like I bought a massive candle from Indigo the other day. It was like $40, which is ridiculous for a candle, but it smells so good. And the difference it makes just to come in and feel that smell. Like for me, that's like a luxurious feeling. And it's, it's worth it. So I try to be more careful with how I treat myself now.
I think it's a lot in the book that I was kind of getting from it was saying that what we think of as luxury is not necessarily what luxury really should be, because we kind of think of luxury as expensive cars and expensive clothes and holidays or these kind of things, whereas actually I think one of the things she mentioned was that just sitting down and having a cup of tea in the morning, it might be a luxury for someone, and that is a luxury for me, or having a warm shower or going on a nice walk and all those kind of things. And I think it's important to kind of bring more of those into your lives as well as also spending on things that we actually need, like a mattress.
But you're right, it doesn't even need to be money. It can just be making time for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And it did also make me think about sort of how I do spend my money and where I do spend my money. And I will spend money on some things, and other things I'll be like, oh, I can't do that. Like this pottery course that I've been wanting to do for ages is about £200, which is expensive, and it's a pottery course. But also, I paid £200-ish a month for my car. I have to do that. But, that just goes out and I don't even think about it. But why do I find it hard to book something and pay for something that I just want to do, where there's no... I think it's this thing again with productivity and end goals. When it feels like there's no reason for doing it, you kind of think, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or you know, the fun things, the artist things and the creative things are just for fun, and I shouldn't be spending money on that. I should be spending my money on sensible things. And
Yeah. It uncovers a lot of subconscious beliefs you have about money that you didn't realize you had. It makes you think about why you wouldn't before have treated yourself to stuff. I don't know. And that was kind of the point of like the next like part of this week as well, was to do counting. So you're supposed to write down everything that you spend so that you can look back and realize like the patterns and what you feel is okay to spend on and what you don't. So that's a really like good thing to reflect on, to realize like, oh, why do I think it's so ridiculous to treat myself to this but not ridiculous to treat myself to that? And like some of that stuff for me came from like my parents. Like they could be very stingy, so I inherited a lot of that, and I feel silly when I spend money on certain things because they would think it was silly, but we have different priorities. So
yeah, I think we also just grew up in different generations as well. I think a lot of people get their money habits from their parents, probably, most likely actually, just because you see that growing up and then you think that's what should be done. And because they grew up in a different era, I was actually thinking about this with my nan the other day, who is 96 now. So she went through the war, and my mum does her food shop sort of every other week. And she asks for very specific amounts of food all the time, like just 2 carrots or something else. You know, she'll have very specific amounts, and she'll get through it all, and there will be no waste. Wow. And even in the way that she does that, it's because, I mean, she had rations in the war. She grew up in a very different time to how we're growing up now, and so waste was a huge thing for her, and she won't waste anything. And I just thought that was such the environment that you grow up in influences how you act and how you spend money in your life a lot, I think.
That's so funny though, because for the same reason, like my grandparents on my mom's side are like the opposite, and my mom is the opposite.
Oh, really?
So because they grew up in war with rations, they're like not hoarders, but kind of hoarders. Like my mom will go around and she's like, "Why do you have a tin from 1987 in here? Like this is not okay." And my nan is like, "It's from 1987. It's fine." Like so, it is the same sense of she hates throwing things away, but in the same vein, she's like, "Let me collect as many of these things as possible in case something happens. God forbid another war like suddenly breaks out. They'd be fine. They've got food for like years." And because they were like that, my mum is the same. And she even used to say, like, I remember being a kid and being like, "Mum, why are the cupboards so full? Like I can't find what I need." It was really ridiculous. And she would always say her nana, so my great nana, would save stuff and have like extras, so she's always done it, and it passed on kind of that way.
Yeah,
but
so,
then
I mean, these
I'm
things
the
get
opposite,
passed on.
because I hated that.
Yeah.
Because I hated not. I get really overwhelmed by like a lot of things. And like recently when I moved, because I just moved in with my girlfriend, when I moved, I had to like go through my stuff and empty the cupboards. And in the kitchen, all my cupboards except like 2 were empty. And the cupboards that had stuff in it was either like Tupperware and plates, or it was the 1 packet of noodles that I eat every day. Everything else was empty. My fridge had like 3 things in it. My freezer had 1 thing in it, because I like to only have exactly what I need, because the opposite annoyed me. So
Yeah, it's so funny, isn't it?
We're all a product of our environment, but it's always a mix of your environment and how you responded to it individually.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you always either copy your parents or go the complete opposite way in everything and anything.
There's not really an in between.
My nan definitely keeps a lot of other stuff in the house. Like she has other things that she won't let go of, but food specifically, she's very sort of set on the food that she's eating. The things in the cupboards maybe have been there for a while, I don't know. But the things in the weekly shop that she does, she's just very, very resourceful, and she knows exactly what she's going to cook for each meal, and she never wastes anything, which I think is a really nice way to live.
That takes so much brain power as well. I'm like, how am I going to do that?
It does. It really does.
Can't find
but it did.
Like
this whole section did make me think about how I spend my money and what I spend my money on, and my thoughts about money. And I do think there was a point when maybe I would say in my early 20s, where, because I like to travel a lot, and I realized that I will always make sure I have enough money to go and travel somewhere. Even if technically, sensibly, I shouldn't be spending that money, I value the experience more than what my savings account looks like at the time. And I think it's all about what you value more. And I know some people would sort of squirrel away money a little bit more and not have those experiences. But I think because because of the way we've been brought up, and because I have traveled a lot and I want to continue to travel, I just value that more, and I want to be able to do that. So I will always make sure that I have enough to do that.
Exactly.
Or try to anyway. I mean, obviously there's some months where I can't, or some years, whatever, but
And it changes too. Your priorities like change over time. Like I know in like 2016 specifically, I didn't have like a penny to my name because every single pound that I earned, I would immediately put it into my travel fund, and I spent that whole year just traveling. I couldn't barely afford food half the time. I remember like on my way back from the airport, I couldn't even afford like a burger at A&W, and the guy behind me had to like give me some change to make up the tax difference. Like I really was like, travel's here, food and basic necessities are down here. Like I would just figure it out, and I did just figure it out. And now that I've had that experience, I still value travel really highly, but I'm like a lot more willing to spend money on good quality necessities and like improving my general quality of life. So it's a good thing to kind of reassess at every few years, like as your priorities like shift and change as well.
Yeah, definitely. As you grow as a person, you're going to be spending money on slightly different things. So it's important to see what you want. So for my artist date this week, I went to an art class, and it was kind of had a similar thing with money, where the art class was about £43 to book. And I almost didn't do it. I put it in the basket about 3 times before I bought it. And I was just sort of thinking to myself, do I need to spend this money right now or do I not? And you know, when you're just weighing up your options. And it's funny because for anything else, if I was going for lunch with a friend and it was £43 or something like that, I would just do it and spend it and not really think about it that much. But when it's an activity and I've chosen to do it and I don't really need to spend the money on it, then I struggle with that a bit more. But I'm so glad I did book it. I think I tried to book it a couple of weeks ago as an artist day, and then I never did it. Remember, I messaged you and I was like, I want to do this, but I haven't. And you're like, do it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I finally did do it. But yeah, that was the actual experience itself was really fun as well. And it got me into painting and learning different techniques, which was good.
Just nice to spend time with other creative people as well. And when you're by yourself and you kind of have to talk to them, it just puts you in a different like headspace, like exposing yourself to those kinds of people. Like, I don't know. For me, I always find it really helpful for my own like creativity and
yeah.
like,
And I was
direction.
nervous. I was nervous going in because I was like, I went in and she said, did you have an art GCSE or art A level? And I was like, no. And then she was just
Let's
like,
be
oh, it's
real.
fine,
As
don't
if
worry.
we'd remember anything anyway. Like,
I know,
would
exactly. But the
remember
whole
shit.
thing, it was actually really interesting because the first part of the class was basically an art history lesson. So the whole subject that week was about Monet. And she was talking about Monet and the art history about him. And so that was really interesting to learn that and then talk about his techniques and then try his techniques. So I actually have my 2 little paintings here. This was the first one. We had to basically copy a Monet piece and just try to do it similarly to how he did it. I'll show
Wait,
it
so
to
is
you
that
as
is
well.
that his or is that yours?
That's
I can't tell.
this is mine, but so it's a famous
Damn.
painting that it's a famous painting that he did. I think it's called Pond of the Lilies or something like that. But I just really like the
love
colours, so I
that.
tried to emulate it.
Yeah. That's
And
super
then
cute.
the second one that I painted was I found a picture on my iPhone of the sea when I was in Greece, and I tried to repaint
Wow.
that too.
Literally,
cool.
that's stunning.
These are actually, this is
Genuinely.
the first time I've ever painted something and actually liked what I've painted.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Yeah. But I
wanna
liked
go
it.
to
I just
this
like
class.
do it because the technique was basically just, it's, what's it called? Not imperialism. What's the word? Impressionism. The technique is called impressionism. So it's about sort of creating little small blobs that when you step away from the picture, they make the picture. And when you look closer, it is just literally little blobs everywhere. But yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it, and it was really fun. I got into it. It was. I think it was 2.5 hours, so took up the whole evening. But I loved it. I came back and I was so excited after doing it. I was like, that was fun.
Fun day. Oh my god. I want to find.
I'd always wished I'd done art classes at school. I don't know why I was interested in doing art GCSE, but I think the 7-8 hour exam put me off.
For me, I was just made to feel like it was stupid. Like I loved art,
Yeah.
but because I was good at science, everyone was like, "Why would you take art?" Blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, "Why did I take science? Hated that too. Like I hated that. It was a waste of time.
What was your artist date this week?
Um, not anything that interesting. I my girlfriend had a bunch of paint by numbers that she found when we were clearing out, and I really just wanted to sit and do that, like just in the evening, just kind of mindlessly. Because I've had like such a busy week with moving, and then I had like an acting workshop over the weekend. So it was great. I had like a chance to do a bunch of creative stuff. I don't think that counts as an artist day because actually, why wouldn't that count as
Yeah,
an artist day?
I think it does.
I don't know why I was so like that can't count. That can count. I'm gonna count that.
That
It was
counts.
great. I'm gonna use that instead as my artist day example. It was super fun. It was with a casting director, Candice Elzinger. Elzinger is how you actually pronounce her name. She was so lovely and fun,
Ah,
and she looked through all our resumes and she picked scripts for each of us to work on. So we had a
yeah.
choice of like she would send us a selection, so I picked my script. It was a really fun like part to play, and she reads with you. So we had like
Okay.
a on the Saturday we did like practice with each other, so we read for each other, and like that was kind of our prep day. We got feedback and we improved on it, and then on the Sunday we came in and one at a time. It was kind of like audition style, so they had like a camera set up, and we'd all sit and watch each person one at a time be in that, like, so you're in your frame. So you're kind of limited as if it's good practice for auditions, and she would be on the other side of the camera reading with you, and she like improv. She was like really, I don't know, it's so much easier and more fun to act when you're acting with someone and you're engaging as opposed to like a cold read.
That
So
sounds so
yeah,
fun.
it was epic. I felt like amazing. I always love these workshops. I always feel so good at the end of them. So yeah, I'm gonna count that. I don't. I literally can't
Yeah,
remember a
definitely
reason
counts.
why I thought that that wouldn't count.
No, that 100% counts. That's a great
Mm.
artist date. So there were some tasks to do, and they were all kind of practical tasks. There weren't many tasks that we had to write down, um, which was interesting. Some of them were
I love
clearing. I
doing.
did actually clear out one of my cupboards,
That
which was
was
good, and
perfect
get
timing for
rid of some
me
clothing. Yeah, yeah.
because
Well, yeah,
that's all I'm
definitely for
doing.
you. Yeah.
It's what I'm
The
gonna
other
do
one that I
after this
actually
too.
didn't do, but I do want to do was natural abundance. Pick 5 flowers or leaves, and I didn't do it, but I do want to do it at some point. I'm just a bit late.
I was the same. I want to make some kind of art out of stuff that I found outside because Vancouver is
Definitely.
so beautiful. Like, the nature here is stunning. There are really cool like shells that wash up on the beach. There's really beautiful leaves that are still new to me because I'm used to the
Yeah.
UK nature. Um, like there is so much cool stuff, and I kind of want to like collect a bunch of things and make some kind of collage, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what. We'll press some flowers or something. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try and do
definitely do
that like
something like
next
that.
week as a catch up.
Yeah. I think this chapter was quite short as well. It's probably one of the shortest chapters in the book, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
other than the sort of luxury God creator vibes, there wasn't much else in this chapter. I think I felt a little bit disconnected with it this week, but I still, I think because we'd done the book before, we did it last year, thinking about money and all of those kind of things last year and our luxuries and what we enjoyed doing, like you said earlier, it did help me this year. And there were some questions that I wrote down that were sort of asking me about things or asking me about what I'm struggling with money and stuff. And I wasn't really, I was like, well, I don't have anything at the moment.
It's validation that we did the work last time and it has actually made a lasting difference.
It's
Like,
true. It's true. Because I feel like I do make time for those little small luxuries now, whereas before, maybe last year I didn't. And this year, I always make time for having my little tea or doing my meditation and, all these little things that I enjoy doing. And I have been able to do that. So that's a good sign. That is a good sign.
I think that's maybe what I will still continue to work on is luxuries that aren't like that don't arise out of money. Like I'm quite bad at really kind of enforcing like time to myself or like or knowing what to do with myself when I'm by myself, like just to indulge in things a little bit more. Like I don't know if I mentioned this before. Like one of my the things my nana does that I think is like the cutest little luxury thing ever is every single night she gets up, like she goes to bed at like 9 or 10, and then she gets up in like the middle of the night and she has 6 digestive biscuits and a cup of tea, and then she goes back to bed. And she's just done
Oh
that
my God, that's the
her
dream.
whole life. Yeah, she's just always done that. And you know, you look at her like, what? Why? And she's like, why not? It makes me happy. I like my midnight
That's
snack.
great.
Like, it's
Oh my God,
thing.
she does midnight snacks.
She does midnight snack by herself every freaking night. I want to find little things like that I can do, like incorporate in my day, just to kind of brighten things up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. So, shall we do our midnight question?
Yes.
I have a new card box. I have a new box of cards. These ones are called Let's Get Closer, Table Talk by Intelligent Change. So I think I got these in a goodie bag, and I haven't actually seen what any of the questions are, but we will pick one. So, I mean, do you want to pick?
The fourth one in.
Fourth one? Okay, that was very specific. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is your favourite childhood memory?
Okay, this probably isn't my favorite childhood memory, but I'm going to say it just because it's the first one I thought of because I'm speaking to you. That time we went to 40 Hall with our bikes, and and it was an amazing day. Like, I remember having so much fun. So 40 Hall was like, it's a building, right, too, but it's like a big park in London, just outside of London.
Yeah, it's in London, yeah.
I don't even know where it is because I think I've only been there that one time as a kid.
Yeah.
But they had like a massive hill, and so we went with our bikes, me and Lucy and Lucy's brother Dom and my sister Rosie, and we just rode our bikes down this huge hill, and it was like the adrenaline rush was amazing. Like, it was so much fun. But one time going down the hill, okay, the way I experienced this was me and Lucy were racing and I was winning, and then Lucy's like, help, help, and I'm like, you're not gonna fool me, I'm winning this race, I'm not even gonna turn around. And I kept going, and I got to the bottom, and I'm like, I won, and I turn around and Lucy's not there, and I'm like, what? And then my mum come over, and your mum's like, where's Lucy? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, where was she? I'm like, well, we were racing, and then she called for help, and I ignored her, and then I won the race, and now she's missing.
So my experience of that was slightly different. I was racing, Emily sped off, and I lost control of the brake. The brakes basically just didn't work, and I panicked and kind of flung the wheel that way, and I rode straight into a tree. But it was one of those trees where you had the trunk and then you had like a bush around the tree. So I went fully into the bush, and I kind of got stuck in there, and I was shouting for help, and no one heard me. And then I also realized I lost one of my earrings, and so I was looking around for my earring, crying because I couldn't find it. And then luckily I wasn't too badly injured. I think maybe some scratches or whatever, but yeah.
Your earring got ripped out of your ear. Like, that's awful.
It did, yeah, and I never found it.
I'm so sorry. Like,
And you
so
left
sorry.
me.
I'm
You
really
left
sorry.
me.
I remember feeling
It's
so
fine.
guilty. But then when we found you under that tree, because we were walking around for ages calling your name, and I don't think you responded to us calling your name, but we heard this like soft whimpering, and we are like, follow the whimpering.
Yeah, I just
find you in
I
this.
just sat there crying. I was so sad. I didn't get up.
So like, minus that terrifying like fear bubble in the middle, it was really fun before, and it was like massive relief afterwards. So that's like one of my strongest childhood memories. That was so much fun. I love that.
That is so fun.
How about you?
Oh, well, I'm trying to think of like what memories. I don't know. It's hard to think of like a favorite because there's so many fun memories as a kid. I mean, if I'm thinking of one collectively that we did together, I think just being in your house on the trampoline, playing games, were one of the best memories I had, definitely. We used to jump, did I do a backflip off of your trampoline by accident once?
Almost 100%.
I have a faint memory that I had a trampoline with nets and you had a trampoline without nets, and I did a backflip and landed in your bush.
Almost definitely that would have happened. You did all kinds
So
of...
both stories I ended up in a bush somehow. So that's great. But yeah. Anyway, shall we do another card? We'll do one more. Where do you feel most at home?
It's funny because I was thinking about this as well. Sorry, you answer first. I did the first one first. You go.
True, you did. Where do I feel most at home? Other than at home. I don't know. Where do I feel most at home? I think I actually feel most at home depending on the people that I'm with rather than the location that I'm in. Yeah. Because certain people feel like home to me and I feel very safe and comfortable around them. And I genuinely think if I picked up our entire family and put us anywhere in the world, I would just feel at home there because we're all there, if that made sense. So I don't know if it's a place for me. Where do you feel most at home? I think it's certain people that I'm close with, my very close inner circle and family. I think that's where I feel most at home.
Yeah, I love that. It's cute. Same. Like, obviously, going home to like my parents' house, or for me, like when we used to, go to Nono's house, like those places are always going to be so like home to me, like more like home than my actual home half the time, just because those places were like solid, or those people have been solid my whole life. But yeah, I was thinking the other day, because obviously this is like, last year I lived at my parents', then I lived in the first Airbnb, second Airbnb, third B&B, fourth rental, and now this is the sixth time I've moved within like a year. And
crazy.
I know like the people I travel with, they often really struggle with that kind of change all the time. And it hits me a bit, I get a bit of delayed processing. Like sometimes I'll be 6 months in and be like, why am I sad? Oh, I miss people. But like I'm fairly good at being like out with just like a suitcase and kind of moving. I tend to feel at home. I tend to make a home for myself fairly quickly, and I think that is because I surround myself with people that I feel comfortable with. Like, I've got my girlfriend, I have friends. When I was traveling before, it was always with people. Like, we often didn't know where we were going to stay, or we'd have to stay in a car, or we'd be trying to desperately find someone we could stay with for one night. Like, we were always just like out. But because of who I was with, it felt fine. It felt homey. It felt cozy. So yeah, that's true.
That's cute. Well. Lovely. They were cute. I liked those.
I'm going to buy a box of cards for one of the next time.
Definitely do. Yeah, buy another one so we have more options.
I love these.
But yeah, I think that's all for this week. It was just a short but sweet little episode, short but sweet little week as well.
That's the first time we've done this in under an hour, and I'm really proud of us. I've only had to restart my camera one time. That's so like
great.
Easy and neat.
That's so good.
Yay!
You did so well. Proud of us.
Me too.
Amazing.
And it was so nice talking to you again, because
and you as
we've both been so busy. It's just nice to have this.
No. Well, thanks for watching, everyone.
We'll be back for week 7 real soon.
We shall be back for week 7. Oh, my AirPod just fell out.
And we'll be officially more than halfway through.
We will be. Oh my god, yes, this is the halfway point, which is wild. So yeah, more than halfway. We're on the last stretch.
On the home run, yay! We're getting it.
But thanks.
Yeah. Thanks and
Thanks
bye.
for joining. Bye.